Once upon a time, there was a man named John who lived a busy and stressful life in a big city. He worked long hours in a high-pressure job, and often found himself feeling anxious and overwhelmed. One day, John decided that he needed a break from his hectic life, and so he decided to take a trip to a small, secluded beach town on the coast. He had heard that the town was peaceful and quiet, with miles of pristine beaches and crystal-clear waters. As John arrived at the town, he immediately felt a sense of calm wash over him. The air was fresh and salty, and the sound of the waves was soothing to his ears. He checked into a small cottage by the beach, and spent the first few days simply relaxing and enjoying the beautiful scenery. But as the days went on, John began to feel restless. He knew that he couldn't spend his entire vacation doing nothing, and so he decided to explore the town and its surroundings. He discovered hidden coves and secret beaches, each one more beautiful than the last. He met local fishermen who showed him how to catch fresh seafood, and he learned about the town's rich history and traditions. But as much as John loved exploring the town, he found that his mind still couldn't fully relax. He kept thinking about his job, and the deadlines he had to meet when he returned home. One day, while he was walking along the beach, John met an old man named James. James was a local fisherman, and he had lived in the town his entire life. As they talked, John mentioned how he was having trouble relaxing, even though he was in such a beautiful place. James listened patiently, and then smiled. "You know, son," he said, "sometimes we get so caught up in our lives that we forget to simply be. We forget to appreciate the moment we're in, and the beauty that surrounds us." John nodded, but he wasn't sure he fully understood. "But how do I do that?" he asked. James took John's hand and led him to a small, secluded cove. He told him to sit down on the sand, and to simply observe his surroundings. At first, John felt silly. He was just sitting on a beach, after all. But as he looked around, he began to notice things he had never seen before. The way the waves crashed against the shore, the patterns the seagulls made as they flew overhead, the way the sun reflected off the water. And as he sat there, John began to feel a sense of peace and contentment wash over him. He realized that he had been so caught up in his own thoughts and worries that he had forgotten to simply be present in the moment. From that day forward, John made a conscious effort to be more present in his life. He took breaks throughout the day to simply observe his surroundings and appreciate the beauty around him. He made time for hobbies and activities that he enjoyed, and he made a point to connect with the people he loved. And as he did so, he found that his stress and anxiety began to melt away. He still had a busy job and deadlines to meet, but he no longer felt overwhelmed by them. He had found a sense of peace and balance in his life that he had never experienced before. As John returned home from his vacation, he knew that he would always carry the lessons he had learned with him. He would make a conscious effort to be present in the moment, to appreciate the beauty around him, and to prioritize the things that truly mattered in his life. And as he closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, he felt a sense of calm and contentment wash over him, knowing that he had found a new way of living that brought him peace and happiness. From that day forward, John made changes in his life to reduce stress and increase his overall well-being. He made time for activities that he enjoyed, such as reading and spending time with his loved ones. He also started to practice mindfulness and meditation, which helped him to stay present in the moment and reduce anxiety. John noticed that as he began to prioritize his own well-being, he became more productive and effective at work. He was able to meet his deadlines without feeling overwhelmed, and he found that he was able to enjoy his job more than he had before. Over time, John's colleagues and friends began to notice the positive changes in him. They saw that he was happier, more relaxed, and more focused than he had been in the past. Some even asked him for advice on how to reduce stress and find more balance in their own lives. John realized that his journey had not only helped him, but it had also inspired others to make positive changes in their own lives. He felt a sense of gratitude and fulfillment knowing that he had made a difference in the lives of those around him. And as John closed his eyes each night, he felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over him, knowing that he had found a way to live a fulfilling and happy life, no matter what challenges may come his way.